Welcome to the course Compiler Design. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about design of a lexical analyzer generator. So this concept we already covered in our earlier lectures. Lexical analyzer generator is nothing but Lex. We discussed about the purpose of Lex, the structure of the Lex program, then the steps in the Lex program, then one example program also demonstrated. Now, by using Lex with the concept of automaton, so how this can be designed, that will be covered in this lecture. So in this lecture, first we'll see the structure of the generated analyzer, then pattern matching based on non-deterministic finite automatons, then construction of DFAs for lexical analyzers, then lastly implementing the Lookahead operator. These are all the various topics we are going to cover under the design of a lexical analyzer generator. So now let us see one by one. First, design of lexical analyzer generator. We shall apply the techniques presented previously. So what techniques we discussed in our previous lectures? Conversion of, we discussed about conversion of NFA with epsilon to DFA using set construction method. This is the one method we discussed, set construction method. Then regular expressions to, we discussed about NFA with epsilon. Then from this DFA, again using set construction method. So these are all the methods we discussed earlier. So now we shall apply the techniques, these two methods or techniques, to see how a lexical analyzer generator such as Lex is architected. So we discussed two approaches based on NFAs and DFAs, what we discussed earlier. The latter is essentially the implementation of Lex tool. Now, let us see the structure of the generated analyzer. The following figure shows the overview of the architecture of a lexical analyzer generated by Lex. What it contains in this diagram, here you can see, first we'll take the Lex program as the input. Then using Lex compiler, that Lex program is converted into other form. So generally by using Lex compiler, this can be translated into lex.yy.c. Here the output is lex.yy.c into C programming. Then using C compiler, by taking input as lex.yy.c, that can be converted into object program that can be denoted as a.out. Then a.out considers input stream and produces stream of tokens. So now here this figure shows a Lex program is turned into a transition table and actions which are used by finite automaton simulator. So now here you can see, first we are taking Lex program, then using Lex compiler. Then what is the output of Lex compiler? So that can be generated in the form of transition table and actions. Transition table and actions. So these are all further used in finite automaton. So now by using automaton simulator, the finite automaton simulator, then it produces Lexim. So any finite automaton output is yes or no. So here output means the Lexim is found or not. So for Lexim, the input buffering concept we discussed with the Lexim, which has two pointers. One is Lexim begin. Then to move the pointer towards one position, we'll use forward pointer. So initially at the starting position, we will use Lexim begin. Then if any position, if you want to change, we'll use forward. So this is the structure of lexical analyzer generated program. So by using Lex with finite automata. So now here we'll discuss about the components briefly. So the components are here. First, we are using transition table for the automaton. This is used for the automaton. Those functions that are passed directly through Lex to the output. Then another function which can be included in the transition table, actions. Both are included in the same component. The actions from the input program, which appears as fragments of code to be invoked at the appropriate time by using automaton simulator. So by generating the fragments of code with the appropriate time by the automaton simulator. That means using finite automata. Then to construct the automaton, we begin by taking each regular expression pattern in the Lex. Then that can be converted into first an non-deterministic finite automata. Then here we need a single automaton that will recognize lexemes matching any of the patterns in the program. So we combine all the NFAs into one by one, introducing a new start state with the epsilon transitions to each of the start state of the NFAs. Let us assume n suffix I for pattern P1. Then for pattern P2, n n2. For pattern P3, n3, and so on. So this construction is shown in below figure. So let us, this is the general diagrammatic representation for a representation of automaton for each and every pattern. First, by taking one start state, let us say S0 with epsilon transition. So here for every pattern, so the automaton, N stands for NFA, non-deterministic finite automaton. So for pattern P1, this is the NFA. For pattern P2, this is the NFA, and so on. For pattern N, this is the non-deterministic finite automaton. So this is the general structure for construction of automaton for each and every pattern, starting with the single start state by including epsilon transitions. So now here we shall illustrate the ideas of this section with the following simple abstract example by taking one regular expression. So each regular expression can be denoted as one pattern. So let us say small a. So here action A1 for pattern P1. Then ABB is the another regular expression. So let us say the action A2, then for pattern P2. So the term action we already used in the Lex program. Here you can see in the declaration section, we will define all manifest constants and definitions. Whereas in translation rules, we will define all these actions. For example, action, if the token is ID, then Lex YYL value equal to, by calling get install ID, then it returns the token name. So like each action gives what is the function followed by what it returns. That is the action. So now for action A1, this is for pattern P1. Let us say this is pattern. So small a. Then for pattern P2, that is ABB. For that action 2. So then for pattern P3, the action is A3. Here A closure, B positive closure. So with this example, now we will explain how the lexical analyzer generator is designed by constructing NFA. Then from NFAs to its equivalent DFA. Now the following figure shows 3 NFAs that recognize the 3 patterns what we discussed in the previous diagram. Then figure 2 shows these 3 NFAs are combined into a single NFA by addition of start state 0 and 3 epsilon transitions. So this is nothing but simply according to our Clean's theorem part 1. So construction of regular expressions to NFA with epsilon. So how we did in the regular expression by splitting. So each and every sub expression, first for the sub expression, we constructed NFA, then all NFAs are combined finally based on the regular expression operation. Same approach is used here also. So now here you can see the first diagram. So this is the NFA for This is the NFA for the regular expression A. So whenever A, as per Klein's theorem part 1, so A can be labeled in between one start state and one final state. So this is the A. Then second regular expression. So what is second regular expression in the given example? ABB. So now here this is NFA for regular expression ABB. But here without taking epsilons directly, we are taking the input symbols as transitions. So here ABB actually concatenation between AB, then between BB we have to take epsilon. But in the series concatenation with or without epsilon, nothing will happen. So that's why here we removed epsilon for our simplification purpose. Now here first transition between first state and next state, the input is A, next input is B, then next input is again B, then last one is final state, then first one we will call it as start state. Then for the third pattern is A closure, B positive closure. So for A closure, now this is the NFA for regular expression A closure, B positive closure. So B positive closure means here it doesn't allows null, whereas A closure even it allows null also. Now A closure means we will take it as loop. So this is nothing but A closure. Then B positive closure can be taken instead of single loop. Here first will B positive closure can be taken as B closure. Then whenever you can simplify this one, so here null is removed. That's why first here we have taken B as the input in between the two states. Then one state with loop we have taken B. Now this is B closure. If you can combine B closure, this is nothing but again B positive closure. This can be written like this. So now here you can see this is NFA1 for the pattern P1, that is A. Then this is for NFA2 for the pattern ABB. Then this is the NFA3 for the pattern P3, that is what is this one? A closure, B positive closure. Now these are all separate NFAs for each and every pattern like P1, P2, P3. Now we will combine these three NFAs by taking a single start state. Like our Klein's theorem part 1, how we combined individual NFAs. So based on the regular expression. So now here what we did, combined all the three NFAs. Now see this is the NFA for pattern P1, that is A. Now here you can see here A, B, B. Now this is the NFA for pattern P2. So here what is the pattern? A, B, B. Now this is the NFA for pattern P3. So that is A closure, B positive closure. So these two are combined parallelly, so not in series. So why? Because these are all different patterns. So now combined by taking one start state as 0 with the 3 epsilon transitions. So parallelly these three are connected to the start state. Now this part is for A, then this part is NFA for ABB, then this part is NFA for A closure, B positive closure. Suppose all these three patterns are concatenated. If the given input is P1, P2, P3, at that time you can take series. But here all are different. That's why separately we have taken three different parts. So this is called as combined NFA for the individual NFAs for the patterns P1, P2, P3. So once we have NFA, then what we did from this we can construct its DFA. Then finally from the NFA or DFA we can produce the lexeme, that is the final outcome of Lex program, which is a pattern. So finally the DFA or NFA, what it gives, whether the pattern is found or not. If yes, the pattern is found. If not, the pattern is not found. That is the outcome. So that is the lexical analyzer generator design by using the concept of NFA and DFA. So now next we'll move to next concept in this pattern matching based on NFAs. If the lexical analyzer simulates an NFA such as that of figure 2, So this one, this is the combined NFA from this. So now, then it must read input beginning at the point on its input, which we have referred to as lexim begin. So this is the starting of the input symbol from the input string. Then as it moves the pointer called forward. So whenever the pointer moves towards one position, then we will call forward, like read or write head in any finite automata. So as it moves the pointer called forward ahead in the input, it calculates the set of states it is in at each point. So then whenever the forward pointer moves ahead to one position, then what are the states occurred? So in this transition, so the set of states in at each point, then eventually, finally, the NFA simulation reaches a point on the input where there are no next states. That means after reading all the symbols from the input, then finally the input is empty. So then further there are no next states. Then it stops. So based on the last state, what are the state we obtained? So if it is accepting state, then the input is empty. Then you can say this is accepted. Otherwise, it is not accepted. Like acceptance of a string or language by any finite automata. Similar concept, we use it here also. So at that point, there is no hope that any longer prefix of the input would ever get the NFA to an accepting state. Rather, the set of states will always be empty. Thus, we are ready to decide on the longest prefix, that is a lexeme matching some pattern. So if you can take at this particular point, we don't have hope that any longer prefix of the input would ever get the NFA at an accepting state. Rather than the set of states will always be empty. So thus we are ready to decide on the longest prefix, that is lexeme matching with some pattern. So whenever it matches a pattern, so in the longest prefix path, then we can say by reaching the final state by matching to that pattern, then we can say the token is found or the lexeme is found. Otherwise, so no lexeme is found or not accepted. So now we look backwards in the sequence of sets of states until we find a set that includes one or more accepting states. We can verify the set of states obtained earlier, go back and check if any set consisting of a final state. You can identify those sets. If there are several accepting states in that set, pick the one associated with the earliest pattern PI in the list from the Lex program. So whatever the set we have identified which consisting of a final state, so then you can pick the one associated with the earliest pattern PI, like whatever the example you consider P1, P2, P3. So which pattern is related from the Lex program. Then by using forward pointer, we have to move the forward pointer back to the end of the lexeme and perform the action AI associated with pattern PI. So like A1 associated with P1, then action 2 associated with pattern 2, then action 3 associated with pattern 3, and so on. So in our example, we have taken 3 actions followed by 3 patterns P1, P2, P3, that is A, ABB, then A closure, B positive closure. So now let us recall the same example what we considered here. Suppose we have the patterns A. So then let us say this is for pattern P1. Then ABB, this is pattern P2. Then A closure, B positive closure, that is pattern P3. Then for pattern P1, action A1. Then for pattern P2, action A2. Then for pattern P3, action A3. So and let us take the input begins AABB, AABA. So with this, now we can see the acceptance of this input string AABA. So this can be taken from the combination of these 3 patterns. The first pattern must start with A, second pattern start with A followed by BB, Then the third pattern start with A closure, then followed by B positive closure excluding null. So this string is derived from these three patterns. Then we can verify whether this string is accepted or not by the constructed automaton earlier. So now here, first let us see the following figure shows the sets of states of NFA of figure 2 that we enter starting with epsilon closure of the initial state 0. So epsilon closure of 0 is 0, 1, 3, 7 and proceeding from there. So now here you can see in the given NFA epsilon closure of 0, let us check here. Epsilon closure of state 0, it is going to state 1, it is going to state 3, then it is going to state 7. Then which includes the current state also. Therefore, epsilon closure of state 0 equal to 0, 1, 3, 7. So these are all the initial states we obtained. Now from these states, you can take, you can proceed further where input is occurred. So now here, where input is occurred here. So from 0, okay, we don't have any input. Then from state 1, yeah, from state 1 with 2. So whenever it goes to 2 with input A, then from state 3 to 4, the input is A. From state 7 with loop, the input is A. So now here, for first step, here we will get the states 0, 1, 3, 7 with initial state. So now here, from this with input A, so what are the state? What are the next states? So where input is labeled with A, from 0 on A, you don't have the next state. From state 1 on input A, so 1 on input A, it is going to state 2. Then from state 3, from 3 on input A, it is going to 4. Then from state 7 on input A, it is going to 7 itself. Now here the input is A. What is our next input symbol? The string is here taken. What we taken? A, B, A. So now again next we want the input as A. From here we can proceed further. From state 2 on A, we don't have any next state. From state 4 on A, we don't have any next state. But from state 7 on A, it is going to 7 itself. So here you will get 7 only one state. So here again the input is A. Now here the input is A. So next symbol is B. Now what is your current state? From 7 on B. From 7 on B, it is going to state 8. So now here you can see. Now here it is 8. Now here on B. So 7 on B, it is going to 8. So now A, B. So what is the string here we have taken? Let us check once. A, BA or BB. So what string we considered here? So A, BA. So B, from B. So further here you can see with A, we don't have any next states from state 8. So that is none. From state 8 on input A, we don't have. So these are all the sequence of states generated while deriving the string A, BA. The same thing is shown here, whatever I explained, that is shown in this diagram. Let us see. So now here you can see. So this figure shows sequence of set of states entered when processing the input A, BA. But here finally A is not derived. So here the lexeme is not found in this case actually. So again, suppose if you will get any one next state, if that is the final state, then you can say the lexeme is found. Then the string is accepted. But here some pattern is matching. A, B is matching, but this A is not matching. So sequence of set of states entered when processing the input A, B, BA. So similar example we studied in formal language and automata theory also. Proliferation of sequence of moves made by the given input. Even in the concept of regular expressions in finite automata also, acceptance test, the method 2 is same only what we discussed. So like that, we can define set of states for matching the pattern. So now another architecture by constructing a DFA. So now till now what we discussed by constructing from regular expression or pattern to NFA, then with NFA the acceptance. Then another architecture by constructing a DFA. So another architecture resembling the output of Lex is to convert the NFA for all the patterns into an equivalent DFA using the subset construction method what we discussed in our previous lectures. So within each DFA state, if there are one or more accepting NFA states, determine the first pattern whose accepting state is represented and make that pattern the output of the DFA state. So now from the NFA shown in the above figure, that is combined NFA. Here you can see the figure 2 is combined NFA. From this now we will construct the equivalent to DFA using subset construction method. So even our last lecture also, even you practiced many problems on this subset construction method. Q naught dash equal to that is epsilon closure of Q naught means epsilon closure of 0. So that means epsilon closure of 0 equal to 0, 1, 3, 7. You can make it as set capital A. Then you can find out the transitions of this set on input A on input B. Then if any new sets are occurred, then you can consider those new sets are the next sets of DFA. Like that, we can proceed further. No new sets are occurred. Then finally, with A, B, C, D combinations, whatever the new states occurred for the DFA, you can construct its DFA transition diagram or transition table. Further, you can proceed with acceptance. So now, the following figure shows a transition diagram based on the DFA that is constructed by the subset construction method from the NFA shown in figure 2, that is combined NFA for the three patterns P1, P2, P3. The accepting states are labeled by the pattern that is identified by that state. For instance, the state 6, 8 has two accepting states corresponding to the pattern ABB and A closure, B positive closure. So now in the given NFA, you can see what are the final states here. So here we have three final states, that is 2, 6, 8. So 2, 6, 8. Now you can, whenever you are constructing a DFA, so the sets which are combination of any of these, either 2 or 6 or 8, then you can consider all those sets as final states. So in the DFA, how to identify the final states, that we know. So based on that final state combinations, we will perform some actions here. Now here we use it as the same NFA again. So for this now we are constructing the equivalent DFA. So later you can do this problem at your end as a practice problem. Here direct DFA is shown here. Finally check out whether your DFA is matching with this or not. So now this is the transition graph for DFA handling the patterns A, ABB, A closure, B positive closure. This can be obtained from the previous figure NFA. So now here we are getting the states here directly, the state names are given. So actually here you may convert these sets as other name by renaming with a set with uppercase letter. Now 0, 1, 3, 7 is one state. Let us say this is capital A. Now 2, 4, 7 is the another state. Let us assume capital B. Then this 8 you can assume it as capital C. Then this you can assume it as D. Then this you can assume it as E. Then this you can assume it as F. These are all the sets actually. But in place of set, directly we have taken the values. So here the state A, what it contains 0, 1, 3, 7. Then the set B, what it contains 2, 4, 7. Then C, what it contains a single state. Then D, what it contains a single state, that is 3. Then E contains 6, 8. Then F equal to 5, 8. So now these are all the states of DFA. So now here the corresponding transitions also included here. So now here we included the patterns also here. Here you can see A closure, B positive closure. In this can be labeled. So the patterns are labeled on outside of the state like Moore mission, common output. Here ABB is the pattern for this set. Here again A closure, B positive closure. The remaining are all transitions represented here. So like that, we can generate lexemes from the DFA architecture also. Previously NFA architecture, now DFA architecture. So that is the design of lexical analyzer generated using NFA and DFA. So now we will move to the last concept, implementing the lookahead operator in the Lex program. So the Lex lookahead operator denoted with slash in a Lex pattern. So for example, R1 slash R2. So R1, R2 are the regular expressions. So in sometimes these are all necessary because the pattern R1 for a particular token may need to describe some trailing context in R2 pattern or R2 regular expression in order to correctly identify the actual lexeme. When converting the pattern R1 by R2 to an NFA, we treat the slash as if it were epsilon. So we do not actually look for a slash on the input. So whenever we are converting this regular expression R1 by R2, then the slash is replaced with epsilon. Now this will becomes R1 epsilon R2. Whenever you can concatenate this one, now this will becomes R1 R2. Now this is a regular expression concatenation. For this, we shall construct NFA. Again, the same process what we discussed earlier. So that's why we have to handle the lookahead operator carefully. So whenever it is not required, you can replace lookahead operator by epsilon. Sometimes this lookahead operator is required. That case we will see. So however, if the NFA recognizes a prefix, let us say XY, of the input buffer as matching this regular expression, the end of the lexeme is not where the NFA entered its accepting state. So rather the end occurs when NFA enters a state, let us say S, such that S has an epsilon transition on the lookahead symbol slash, that is imaginary. Let us assume there is a path from the start state of the NFA to state S that spells out the string X. That means it can be labeled as input. Then there is a path from state S to the accepting state that spells out Y. That means with input Y. So here two possibilities, with input X, then with input Y, from starting state to the current state S. Two possibilities, whether input X or input Y. So now if X, as long as possible for any XY, satisfying the conditions 1, 2, 3, the three conditions 1, 2, 3. So like that, we can handle the lookahead symbol. If there is only one epsilon transition state on the imaginary, the lookahead symbol slash in the NFA, then the end of the lexeme occurs when this state is entered for the last time, as the following example illustrates how this will be. So if the NFA has more than one epsilon transition state on the imaginary lookahead symbol slash, then the general problem of finding the correct state yes is much more difficult actually. So let us say this example. So an NFA for the pattern if in Fortran language with lookahead is shown in the following figure. So here observe one of the note that the epsilon transition from state 2 to state 3 represent the lookahead operator. First, let us see the diagram, then we will come back. Now we can see this is the NFA for recognizing the keyword if in the language Fortran language. So now here in earlier lectures we discussed the various examples for construction of automaton for identifiers, keywords, operators, etc. Same we'll use here, but here by including lookahead operator. First, the keyword if means every letter in the keyword will be labeled in one transition. First, I is labeled here between start state and next state. Then F is labeled in the next transition. Then after IF, further what we have? Further what we have actually slash we have. That is empty, null. So we have taken slash. So here we will take the imaginary, the lookahead symbol next slash. Whenever slash is not required, at the time we will take it as null. So then followed by here any others. So open braces, closure braces. Then any of the combinations. Then further, even a letter may also occur. Letter means like small a to z. Then it goes to final state. So like that here, the keyword if followed with end with the end marker epsilon or slash, which is the look ahead, then followed with some letters combination. For example, here now if, so we have here actually what will take here condition, then it returns something. So if a equal to 1, then it return true or false or something like that. So if condition, then statement. Same thing is represented here, the keyword if. So this is the NFA for recognizing the keyword if, which includes the lookahead also. So whenever the lookahead is not required, then that is replaced with epsilon. That's why two combinations are considered here. Okay, that's all about the implementation of the lookahead operator with example. Now let us come to summary of this lecture, what we discussed. So here first we discussed as part of design of lexical-analyzer generator. So by using NFA architecture and DFA architecture. First, we discussed the structure of the generated analyzer with combination of Lex plus automaton. Then pattern matching based on NFAs. We demonstrated one example. Then we constructed DFAs for the lexical analyzers. Then lastly, we discussed about how the lookahead operator is implemented. So for this lecture, the reference is how to second edition section 3.8. So next lecture, we will come up with our next topic, that is optimization of DFA based pattern matches.